What's up, guys? How you doing today? We've got a cool little Pro-Tech to talk about today, and this is a not a automatic knife from Pro-Tech. They do make a few manually operated knives, and this is one of them. This was sent in by my buddy Gil over at Wild About Sporting Goods. You know the drill. Here's the promo code. Link to his website will be down below. Now, I've done a video on this model before, but it was the, if you call it the standard version, it is the one that had just aluminum scales. And they were flat and, not contoured and rounded and sculpted and stuff like that. So I'll put a link to my Pro-Tech playlist in the description below, and I'll try to remember to put a link to the other Malibu video as well, so you can find it real quick if you want to go check that one out. This one is what they are calling the Titanium Custom Blue 3D Titanium Frame Stonewash 20CV Reverse Tonto Mother of Pearl button. Okay, the exact part number and all that. This one is available. It is on Gil's website for $600. Just get that out of the way right now. But you get 10% off. So 10% off of 600 starts to add up, which brings this into a more reasonably priced knife. There's a lot of great things about this knife, and really not too much negatives. So let's just run through the specs and get that out of the way first off. 4 3/16 closed, 7.5 overall, 3.28 blade, 3.21 cutting edge. It is 20 CV blade steel, as I said before. It's 0.123 blade thickness. Overall thickness is 0.527. Weighs in at 4.3 ounces and runs on bearings and is super drop shut. Okay, let's zoom in and take a look at the very cool reverse Tonto stonewashed blade that's basically sterile. There's no branding, no billboarding on the actual blade. They do that up here on the spine with the Pro-Tech logo and on the flipper tab for the blade steel, which is very cool. That's the way I wished almost everybody would do it, honestly. So you can see here a mother of pearl button, which to me, I'm not a huge mother of pearl fan, so that doesn't really do anything for me. I could take it or leave it, but it looks nice and it's done well. And then they have milled and contoured the scales. So you can see it's contoured. And they did a really nice milling job all the way back, nice and uniformed. And then same thing on the back. So done really well. And the pocket clip, Pro-Tech does it right. If you're going to have a deep carry clip, recess the clip into the scale material and use flush mounted hardware. This is the perfect way to do a deep carry clip. I've talked about that many times, and I will talk about it again. Okay? Here is Kubi that does almost, they do half. They recess the clip into the scales, but they use a button head screw. Okay, so they got halfway right. The other deep carry clip I have here is Honey Badger. And they do it a little bit differently because they actually, instead of recessing the clip in, there's a pocket in the scale and it goes into. So this one they do really good too, because those screws, while they are oval-headed screws or button-head screws, they are recessed in. Okay, so they do it right also. Here they just use countersunk hardware, which I think is the perfect way to do it. Now, one other thing, let me grab a light really quick, is inside of the scales, see if we can show that, they have done some jeweling, engine turning almost inside of the scales, which is a little tough to see. But it's not just flat titanium. So they've done some work inside of the scales also, which is just quality work. I mean, nobody's ever going to see the inside of the scales, but yet they took the time and energy to do that. Now it's got a G10 Backspacer. It's kind of a dark gray, almost black-ish, which looks cool. And you can deploy it with either the flipper tab, of course, or you can get fidgety, release the lock button, depress the button lock, and then swing it out that way. Okay, so it does get fidgety like that. I don't typically do that, but you could do that if you like, very much like a lot of people will do with an access lock. So there's, I guess you could call that multiple deployment methods. I don't typically do it that way, but it does drop shut because it is a button lock. And drop shut doesn't really do it for me, but this does get addictive. And you just want to sit and deploy and whatnot because it is very, very fidgety. Now, as a knife, it fits great in the hand. The clip is very comfortable in the palm of your hand. This works equally well for lefties. Because there's no lock bar and you can depress the button lock with your index finger, so any left-handed viewers are going to be able to carry this and use it. You cannot reverse the clip, of course, but I have a few left-handed friends that are big Medford fans, and you can't reverse those clips either, and they carry it in their left pocket just this way, right? It works for them. They've learned how to deploy it from their pocket and kind of flip it around and then utilize it. So it can be done. So if you're a lefty, you will appreciate the button lock, much like an access lock, because you can do it from both directions, no problem. So these are made in the USA, in Southern California, Orange County. So you're getting American quality, you're getting American craftsmanship. I think their standard model, which I did the other video on, that one is much more cost effective, if you will. The standard ones are about $200 to $225. So, if Gil has any, you can get 10% off of that, right? This, but for $225, it's a steal for an American-made 3 1/4 inch blade, flipper button lock. At $600 for the titanium version, I think this is an upgrade to the standard aluminum frame because the aluminum framed are a little chalky, especially when they're brand new. Is it a $400 upgrade? I can't decide that for you. If I was going to have a Malibu, it would be a titanium version. They've actually done a few with Damascus blades, which would probably be the one I would get, which I think are in that $700-800 range. So I think it's a very cool knife. It's the right size. It's kind of the right shape with that reverse tanto. I mean, I think there's nothing negative to say about it from my perspective. Okay, so let's do a couple size comparisons. With the Sharpie, of course. The Spyderco Delica. So it's a little bit longer, but you're getting a lot more blade than you do with the Delica. The Quiet Carry Waypoint. And I think we're right about, pretty much exactly the same dimensions. Different blade steel, different configuration, whatnot, but really the same size that I didn't even realize until right now. Now this is a liner lock, but it does have a reversible clip. No flipper. I don't know, this one's very thin in the hand. this feels better to me in the hand. Okay, so out of these two, I don't know. I like the Pro-Tech better, I think. But again, it's personal preference. I do like the Quiet Carry. I got that from Alex over at Alex's Knife Box as a trade. How about the Benchmade 940? A little bit longer, similar reverse Tonto. Probably a little thicker. About the same thickness overall. I'd have to measure, but yeah, the Pro-Tech is a slightly thicker, which I prefer. I think that just works better for my hand. I do love the Osborne 940 because it's very fidgety also, and here you can do with the Axis lock without using the thumb stud. You can just flick it like that, much like with the button lock. All right, one more size comparison because I love this knife. The Hellraiser P-Series. Why? Just because I love this knife and it's my channel, so I get to do that. But yeah, this is a very cool knife. This one, out of the Malibu models, I would get a titanium version myself if I were to get one. Sadly, I cannot buy every knife that comes through, although I might. If I were buying more knives, I would look at getting one of these because it's just so freaking cool. And the deep carry clip works absolutely perfect. Most all of the Pro-Tech clips really do work well. And Gil sent me a few other Pro-Techs that you'll see over the next couple of days. So stay tuned for those. But yeah, all in all, I think the titanium is very cool. I hope they do more and they keep doing titanium with different colors and different stuff. But being titanium, you could send this out to be modded and change the color if you want. So that gives you some options as well if the blue isn't your thing. So there you go. The Pro-Tech Malibu Titanium model, whatever I showed at the beginning off of the side of the box. Thanks for watching, everyone. Check out the Pro-Tech playlist down below for other Pro-Tech models. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.